Well, thank you again for joining us here. I'm Marty Mangello at Rotary Global Impact Club, Rotary International Club for Global Impact. Happy to say that we received our charter yesterday. Woo! Super excited about that and going live. Have a little treat for everybody today as we get started with a film, and then our guest speaker is on, Mr. Manu Seth from India. So we will jump right into it and just have a moment of silence beginning with today's meeting. For those of you who pray to various different gods, Yahweh, Allah, God, the Lord, and all the great and the other names that are used. Mike, would you kick us off with today's invocation?
Yes. We ask that all spirits look down on us as we call ourselves now the Rotary Club of Global Impact. We ask that all spirits look down upon us and give us the strength and the guidance and the help that the world needs today, and that it empowers not only individuals but the club as a whole, because as a whole we can all make a difference. And in that, we ask that all spirits look down on us today and give us that power to include the strength for those that are in Ukraine and other battles of war that may come to peace in our lifetime. And in that, we pray and think of others. Amen.
Amen. And for those of you out there whom we greatly respect but don't pray and don't believe in any God or force in the universe, we just want you to know that we welcome you to the table at 100% capacity. And we ask, like the Dalai Lama and Gandhi often mentioned, the most important thing, if you have no religion, is not religion, but compassion. So that's very important. I would like to jump into the four-way test. I know that this is kind of new for a lot of people because we applied to Rotary for 43 members, and the vast majority, and we did receive a letter from Shaker in India, our current president worldwide. It's very nice of him to send us that letter and sign it. And I think Governor Nico is actually going to try to have him do the actual ceremony for us, which will be announced and coming up soon. So plan on the installation ceremony for all Rotarians is going to be coming up, and President Shaker Mehta will be doing that. Welcome also Vincent. I saw Vincent on from Canada. I'd like to jump into the four-way test. We often read this at meetings. We may not read it all the time because some people have complained it's really old, boring, and old hat, but we will read it from time to time. And also the dinner gong that gets rung, some people have said, if we could not have that, that'd be great too. So I know these things are important to some people, as are the pillars, but the four-way test is, of course, is it the truth? Number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it fair to all concerned? Number three, and these are all about the things we think, say, and do, okay? So that we think, say, and do with your hands. Number three, will it be building goodwill and better relationships? Will it, with what you're getting ready to say? And number four, will it be beneficial to all concerned? So do I have them memorized? Probably not. I'm not that great, okay? I'd love to pretend I'm Superman, but we do have these little cards. Yeah. And one thing I like about it is I keep this in my wallet because on the back is the object of Rotary. So it's handy to have in your wallet. And welcome to you, Nico. Great to see you. Also, we have Istiak is on from Bangladesh. And a momentary pause there. Sorry about that, Istiak. And can we do the 1 minute of love now from London, England with Desiree?
Hi, everyone, and to everyone watching and listening. I'm here to spread love and peace all across the world. And my one wish for our world is to fight with love and say no to war. To ask our most powerful presidents and leaders of mighty nations to humble their hearts and to be considerate for the sake of humanity. It's time we say no to war and say yes to peace and love. As humans, we are the guiding lights of our rational world. We are resilient and strong individuals, and we need to continue to bring love and peace into the world as leaders and citizens of our planet. We are the beating hearts of humanity here at the Rotary Club of Impact, and we welcome everyone across the world to join us in peace and love, and say no to war and say yes to peace and love. In many regions across our planet, we have been settled in so many unforeseen circumstances as humans, and we need to continue to work on our mindset and our emotional intelligence so that we can be free and we can be connected to each other in all aspects of love and harmony. And this is what we need in our world. Say no to war and say yes to peace and love. These are the most crucial and challenging times for women and children and men. So please protect our men so that their families can feel safe, respected, supported, and of course, that we all can come together in love and say no to war and say yes to peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for 1 minute of love. I'd like to turn over the microphone to the governor. We're very honored. Many people only see their governor maybe once a year if they're lucky. It's a huge thing. Governor Ionelli, Nico, please take it away.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. It's an honor, and we've been working with Marty and Mike and Patty and Istiak and everybody. Congratulations on officially being part of the family of Rotary. We got our email yesterday that we are officially chartered as the Rotary Club of Global Impact. So thank you for everybody for your patience and efforts as we get this all started. But I just want to welcome everybody over the next few days. We'll be working behind the scenes to make sure everybody has their Rotary membership ID numbers. And for those that were prior Rotarians, we'll make sure that your ID number will stay. So all the contributions and everything that you've done over the years to the Rotary Foundation will continue that. But I'm excited. We're in a world where we know where we need to connect differently. We need to be able to present differently and engage differently. And this formation of the club accomplishes a lot of that. We are representing currently 16 different countries with the 42 chartering members. So that is phenomenal. And I know that we're going to have a lot more coming on. And my challenge for everybody is just have an impact in the communities that you live in, and we'll continue to have an impact around the world. And at the end of the day, we're a bunch of Rotarians. We're just a bunch of good people doing good things. And welcome to the family. So thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Nico. We do have Manu waiting in the wings to give his presentation. Before I introduce Mr. Seth, one of our honorary advisors, by the way, let's not forget that he is an honorary member and advisor and listed on our website at Rotary Club of Global Impact. The Facebook site opened yesterday. The LinkedIn and Twitter sites are opening today. I think I worked 17 hours yesterday. I was pretty exhausted after that 2-day camping trip in below freezing weather for scouting. And I was plenty warm. It was just that in the sleeping bag in the tent, laying on the ground, my face was so cold, I had trouble sleeping. It took about 2 hours to go to sleep because my face was actually so cold. So I think I'm pretty recovered from that. I know Raina, our daughter, slept like 12 hours straight. And we appreciate all of our members attending from all over the world. Also, I see Larry is on and is sending greetings. Larry Kennemore. from here in North America. Vincent, thank you for jumping in there from Canada. We appreciate you. We welcome you to come into the main channel if you would like, Vincent, and be here on stage with us anytime. Desiree, can we get a plug from you for what you're doing after you did that wonderful 1 minute of love? Can you give a plug for your businesses? I might add that on the object of Rotary, don't be surprised that when you're reading on the back of your card and your wallet, you'll be getting these. But the word business is mentioned 4 times on there. Okay. So don't be put off that Marty talked about business or mentioned business. The object of Rotary is the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. That's why we try to spread out the different trades, the dentist, the veterinarian, the construction guy. This is the opportunity for acquaintance that you would not normally have within life. Is why would I have a dentist as a best friend? I go to see him twice a year and that's it. But then now I'm seeing him at Rotary and there's a veterinarian there, and that's a lot of the business. Can we get a plug for what you're doing in business, Desiree?
Hi, everyone. I would like to talk about Face of WOHA, Face of Women of Heart Awards. It's a global platform for women from all nationalities, background, race, religion to come together to bring forth a message to help heal our world. So our enterprise openly invites women from different countries to come together to help change the world through speech. And we give women opportunities to connect as a visual component so that we can create awareness around diversity and inclusion for the new generation. So this format is to make a difference and to have a greater impact because words are powerful. And with words, we can make a difference in the lives of so many people. So this is one of my platforms, Face of WOHA. So we give, like I did mention before, opportunities for women age 18 and over to come together as a speaking extravaganza to help heal our world. And also with the business, we also provide products as well, and to help women to feel empowered. So our logo represents the empowered women, the empowered woman. So when you see the logo, you know that this is the empowered woman. It symbolizes empowerment, and that's what we want to raise awareness so that young girls all over the world can feel empowered. So it's Face of the Women of Heart Awards. And our women, they come from all walks of life, in all shapes and forms, and to help heal the world. Yes.
Thank you so much. And without further ado, I want to shift into the next part of our meeting, the 2022 convention coming up. Big surprise for everybody right here.
We are excited to invite you to 2022 Rotary International Convention, Houston, Texas.
There are no limits to what can be discovered.
Our horizons are changing, but we remain resilient.
Because it's in our nature to break down barriers.
To explore the vast world of ideas, culture, and experiences.
The very things that give us new meaning to life.
So what better time than now to take action?
And push the boundaries of what's possible.
To join forces and do something that revitalizes the spirit.
Form connections that broaden our worldview. Share our passions for service with other leaders.
And become inspired to do great things along the way.
Let's take on new horizons and see what's possible.
Because our potential has no limits.
Discover new horizons at the 2022
Rotary International Convention in Houston, Texas.
Come Let's discover new horizons at the 2022 Rotary International Convention, Houston, Texas.
Okay, guys, there you go. Convention.rotary.org. For those of you watching all over the world, convention.rotary.org. Also, I had a suggestion come in to please publicize our website. People are asking, where is it? We need the link. That would be helpful, Marty. Put it up. It might be a good idea to put it up on the scroller or on the bottom. It's actually hiding up there at the top. If you can see it, it's at the top of every page. So please visit our site. Let us know what we could be doing better. We need your advice and to make things even more awesome for it. I did want to ask Nico just to talk a little bit about the convention. I think he's gone to a convention before. I lived in Houston, a wonderful town, and worked for a billionaire there, Mr. Dan and Deborah Friedkin, on the Forbes 400 list. They're about 212. Loved that town. Went to Joel Osteen's church with 80,000 people in church every Sunday. That in itself was unbelievable. But Nico, can you tell us about the flavor of a convention and what it's like and the pump?
Yeah, I would love to. And thank you, Marty. So for those that haven't been to a Rotary International Convention, where there's 20, 30, 40,000 Rotarians from around the world. And, there's great speakers that are there. This year, it happens to be in our backyard in the United States. Unfortunately, last year, because of COVID, Taipei was a virtual event, but this has been going on for over 100 years. So in June, there's 20,000 Rotarians from around the world coming in. Yes, to see some phenomenal speakers, and we'll have private lunches with Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta and his wife Rashi, and as well as Jennifer Jones, and breakouts for that. But also one of the greatest things, and I apologize if my mic just went out, but one of the greatest things is the House of Friendship. This is a large convention floor that is filled with Rotarians sharing the local projects that they're doing in their communities and around the world, from everything from our 30-year project with polio to malaria, hepatitis, water and sanitation. Right now with water and sanitation, we're doing a multi-generational water project in Haiti that Rotarians are down there kind of taking the lead and helping with other organizations. Last night, I got a global grant application for a water and sanitation program that our district, and we're going to get this club involved too, with doing water for about 29 schools in Nigeria. So we'll share more than that. But the convention floor, it just shows that it's so much more than just what we do at our clubs, but it's breathtaking just to see different things wherever your passions are. You get to meet different members, as well as the different Rotary action groups and fellowships. We talk about business, and I put it in the chat, but I don't know if it popped up. But in 1911, like Paul Harris said, that who's the founder of Rotary, that life in Rotary should be a rational mixture of business, civic activities, and good fellowship. And somewhere along the last 100 years, we shifted away from doing business. We're the only organization that, we live and abide by the four-way test. So we could reach out to another Rotarian in that level of trust that's there. So we actually chartered a Rotary Means Business Fellowship, encouraging Rotarians to connect. And in the traditional clubs, like, you weren't able to talk about business, there's not enough time. But again, we do business worldwide, and I think it's great that we're able to share what one another does. But if you have an opportunity, I invite you to join us in Houston in June, and it just shows you the much larger part of what Rotary, because it's not just a club, it's really a movement that's been going on for over 100 years.
Well, thank you so much, Nico. Fantastic repertoire also. I think Rotary often is another opportunity to learn about structure, learn and understand how excellent systems are run with over 100 years of experience. If you're looking to get into something, to see about structure, that is supported by 20, 30, 40 books that organize it and how it all interrelates to one another with districts and zones. And you want to also work on your repertoire for extemporaneous speaking, to maybe be a speaker and have speaking opportunities. You can notice how eloquent Nico is. That's just all. He's not actually reading off of a script. So Rotary is great for a lot of different things. And honestly, I think when I was first speaking, maybe at 16 or something, it was more like, my name is Martin Mangello. I was scared to death. So acting on stage and speaking, you just get better and better. So there's a lot of other opportunities in Rotary. And one of them is some of our fantastic, unbelievable Indian speakers. And today we have an excellent one. Mr. Manu Seth is on with us from Noida in India. A long-term Rotarian, also not just a member and going to his club meetings, but being involved as a secretary and holding many different roles, raising money, has done tons and tons of work over the years in Rotary, and also a Paul Harris Fellow. We have an excellent presentation from Manu today. And Manu, I'm going to turn it over to you and bring up your slide deck when you tell me.
Sure, Marty. First, I would like to pass on the Rotary greetings to all of you and the congratulations for being chartered on the day. That's the Rotary Club of Global Impact. That's pretty impressive and great. And it's a great honor to be a part of such an august and great humanitarians. And also a pleasure, as you said, to hear from a district governor, sir. So respected sir, that was great to hear from you. And it's not very common to hear from the district governor every time, but it was a privilege to hear from you. Thanks, Satan. And a great insight on the Rotary Convention. That's very impactful, very insightful, and it really opens up your mind. And I really strongly believe that the way the Rotary was coined, and as you narrated, the wheel keeps on moving on. And the continuity is the most important thing while you learn and deliver for the community. So thanks for your inspiring and your motivating words. And I once again congratulate each and every member of fellow members and the fellow Rotarians for being a part of the Rotary Club of Global Impact. And thanks, Marty, for giving me this opportunity. So what I have tried doing is to showcase some of a little bit of a key effective work which we have done in the last couple of months, a mix and match of both the years where a lot of things were changing. There was a lot of pandemic times, a lot of times where people were really looking for the humanitarian aspect and people were coming forward to deliver. And some of our work and the projects which we think, which we would like to cover in the time to come. And it even captures a few glimpses of some of our international projects which we have done. So not taking much of your time, I'll just show you some glimpses.
Is that pretty big on the screen for everybody? Does that look like I maximized it?
Yes.
I think it's
it looks good at this end.
Okay, good. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Manu.
Perfect. Thanks. So can I move the slides from here or how will it go?
Oh, you can just say next slide and I'll do it for you.
Okay. So idea of putting is that, yes, we firmly believe that Rotary had this theme of Rotary Open Opportunities. So last 18 months and as we learned that from the 1st of July, the cycle changes. But the most effective thing is that how well you learn to work as a team and for the projects that you're working for the community. So moving on to next, our focus was completely on that. How do we sustain the project? So I've shown some of our past presidents. These have been our immediate past presidents and the district governor. And the whole idea was that how Rotary open opportunities. So respected Governor Nico sir, it's really a blessing to have all the governors to keep the guidance, maintain that direction for delivering the projects into the community. And moving on to next. Our key focus was on the 7 areas which was clearly identified and which falls all under the community services, fellowships, memberships, enhancing the global reach of the programs. And our effort has been to tie up with the local clubs, act as a parent club, supporting clubs on various aspects so that we can give back to the community. And moving forward, Marty, we can move on these slides step by step, but I'll keep on running the narration. So you can keep on running. I'll keep the narration. So this was some glimpses of the plasma bank, which was clearly done. And that was first in the state and top 3 in the country when it was all pandemic times. So we tried to bring the local flavor, and we used to volunteer people that it is the time of pandemic, but we have to really serve for the cause. So in the subsequent slides, you will see that how we are trying to run the blood bank center. We got the ministry, we got the departments, we got the municipal corporations involved with us, because what we learned is that we can't do things alone in the society. We need to have the establishments, we need to have the communities, we need to have the departments, health departments, municipality departments, even the paramilitary forces or the security forces who were working day and night for people and managing things around. So you could see that this is one of a glimpse of a temple which we call as a blood bank, Rotary Noida Blood Bank. Then that's where we do the collection for the platelets, we do the collection for the blood banks, and we keep on helping people even below the poverty lines. So we run out certain things which is helpful for the needy in the community. So in subsequent slides, you will see that how we have been doing this effort continuous. The whole effort, and the catch was that the continuous effort has to go into the community. Because if we do it once and if we don't sustain it, we lose what all great things we spoke about. And even Mr. RI President Rotarian Shekhar Mehta sir, when he was evaluating our projects, this was the first project which we took on to the national television. So idea was that how majority of the other clubs and the districts can join hands with us, and we take it onto the national platform. So subsequently, you will see on the slides that how we have been tapping up. So this was the current president, sir, at that point of time. He was the past district governor. And then we are doing things for the pet food. So various other slides that we can keep on moving. You would see that there has been various activities that has been done primarily on the ground in terms of the community, in terms of the welfare of the people. People below the line were assisted with the basic amenities and services. So we used to collate people and the members, and we used to organize these camps. The idea was that we should have maximum participation, and even around that Women Day, we did certain things for women because they were the one managing home, managing offices. So all our aspects was covered, and even we have certain people participating from the international clubs. So our whole effort was around all these 7 areas of focus, which you see, and we were working on the kids, the community, which was really changing, where we say that the teachers and the kids, they were all at home, and there was a complete lot of trauma, pressure on their mind. But they have been really innovative. Trust me, the way they have adopted to technology, this whole called Zoom sessions, this whole called Google Meets, they were very, very innovative. In slides, you will see that there was a class of 40 people, 200 people, 90 people at any given point of time. And they were doing their performances like lighting a lamp, which is a ritual from a Rotary greeting. You see the kiddos doing at their home and in their small rooms. So the idea was that how do we bridge and bring that essence, going below their apartment, doing the cultural performances, where idea was that instead of paying outside, why should not we have take care of our own parents, grandparents? And the whole idea was blending this whole efficiency around the various works that we have been doing. And then we felicitated the people around the departments and the authorities, because without their help, we were not being able to run out these activities because everything was under lockdown, everything was under closed. So we used to take like he was the district magistrate and the mayor of that particular city who used to give us permission, passes, and we were serving various activities over the period of time. And this was from the security services where we were providing food, because at that point of time, you were not having restaurants running, you were not having any supplies of oxygen, medical supplies, medical amenities. So we were working on all those refilling of those amenities, basic medical supplies, which was reaching to our members, reaching to their extended families, reaching to the people which is outskirts of the community and our limited district and the circuit. So the whole effort was that we were working very, very closely with the departments, and it was very important to felicitate and acknowledge their efforts, because without their support, we alone could not have done. And that is how you could see, like people, if you give them a food, anything on the table, they'd feel that they are not regarded well. But you could see that how the fear was in everyone's mind that people were willing to accept the food on the table or on the floor, or on putting up a bar stool in front of their main gate or the entry gate of their apartment or their villa or whatever the place they were living in. And subsequently, other projects we picked up was for the well-being of the elders in the family. So our aspect was that how do we take care of the whole circle of family, right from kids to parents, and even then we got the authorities and the mayor. So the in the previous slide was the mayor of that particular state and the city, that how we can assist and speed up our basic amenities, because that was the time where no one was aware. People were not even sitting with each other. People were not willing to stand with you. So that is where our objective was, that we should gratify the people, give them our regards, pay them all the due credit what they were looking at. And then we started doing subsidies for the people who are below the poverty line segment of the society, who can't afford those things. So all this got literally covered on the various electronic platforms, various print mediums. And as we move forward, this was one of the mobile dental clinic van, which we just inaugurated at that point of time. So this was done in participation with the Rotary Club. So respected Governor Sir, we used to take guidance from our governor and in our district. And then we were looking for that, how do we work on the DDF grants, or how do we work on the global grant funds? So idea was that how we can bring those facilities to the people. And this was a 2-seater mobile dental van where we used to give all the amenities, facilities, and the doctor. So all this project report was given, all these things were audited by them. And there was a third-party audit agency which used to audit our reports, audit our even the inventory, that where the bus is, what are the kilometers, what is the mileage, and how we are rendering those services. So as we move forward, we started doing activities for the young girl child who were not being able to afford in terms of their education, in terms of their hygiene, in terms of the other things. Now, one of this project, which we have done last year in the guidance of our latest president, is artificial limb. Because a lot of this segment, these are the people who would have lost of their limbs in terms of mishappenings, and they can't afford that. So what we did a complete camp, and it was a whole process, which is having a scrutiny through the doctors and the hospital. And then they were given treatment there, and their limb was done in 2 days' time. So we had the agency, we had the partner, we had the facility and the manufacturer who were working on all these things. So you could see those smiling faces, even the small kid to the parent, a young member of a family. If he's not able to move around, he can't run his family. So our belief was that how we can keep the wheel moving of Rotary services. And for that, I would say that all the members, that's how I've tried putting all our women power, which is in one format. So we try to maintain, apart from all the fellowship, we try to maintain them, that okay, how they are really contributing, they really go to the last mile. So as a women power, and then on the next slide we have all the men power supporting together as a team. And our whole objective was that how do we deliver these services to the community. So in mid of all these great Rotarians and all the fellow members, I would not talk much of thoughtful, but idea was to showcase some work. We are open for looking for projects internationally. We are working on projects for cross borders. And that is where we use the term, a small Indian term was there, thanks, which was written in the Hindi local language. So thanks, Marty, for giving me all the support for running the slides. And the idea was that how together we can serve for the community and deliver the Rotary message across the 4-way test and across the key areas of focus, and work with the fellow clubs and the districts across the globe.
Well, I hope I speak for everybody when I say that when Indians mention they're going to bring it to the table, they bring it.
Oh.
Well, I think it's thanks to all of us for being as a part of the ideas to bring the impact across.
Yeah, you guys do not play around. Last week's presentation, if you didn't notice it, we are meeting every second and fourth Tuesday now of the month. We have fixed our schedule in stone, and that was promulgated to the members only WhatsApp section. But we had a presentation previously from Dali Parikh, and she also brought it to the mat. So you guys are so impressive with what you do. It is amazing. Let me tell you. I did see also a comment had come in from Larry. I wanted to give him a second there. about the drinking water pollution and opioid crisis connection. Also, Vincent was sending greetings to you from Canada to India.
Thanks.
Vincent James, and he said that everything was coming through clear in Canada. So we had New York, Canada, Massachusetts. Everybody could see everything. And also thanks for a great presentation to you, Manu. Thank you for sharing today. Just unbelievable the work that you guys do. You do not play around. You're very serious. With that, I would like to just see if there was anything with new business for the club today. And before we jump into that, we had no old business to wrap up, other than to say, if you haven't sent in your application fee, and you live in Africa and you're watching this later, one of our gentlemen, Ambassador Eddie Snay, offered to help anybody in Africa. He had made his payment yesterday. He said, he lives in Liberia. So he said he went into the bank. He had to actually upgrade his card. And he was able to then just tell them right there, pay this. It has a SWIFT code and an IBAN number right there on the email. We also had another question came in this morning. I think, Patty, we got a question just within about an hour from another person asking for the IBAN code, the international banking account number?
Yes.
Yep. And that's on the email. That's in that email that you received. So we can send it to you again. But the SWIFT code is there. The IBAN is there. It's Bank of America, and they're worldwide. So was there any other old business that we're forgetting, Mike or Patty or anybody?
I think we've set the tone. This is our second meeting. This would probably be our first official. So as we move on and we see these other clubs in other different areas and other different parts of the country, we are just like taking it like a sponge, because there's so much out there that we can create. And it's like you say, it's about the organization and the community. I've been with Rotary since 2014. And it's like you said, the wheel must always be turning.
Absolutely. It's got to be turning at all times. Yeah. And those cogs that interconnect, I mean, that's fantastic, because then they get other wheels spinning. So also moving into new business, then going one last time for members, was there any old business still to discuss?
Well, it's current business with the presentation we just had. May I ask a question?
Oh, yeah. My gosh. Yeah. Questions.
Yeah, so I did note a great presentation, Manu. Thank you. And I did notice the buses at the camps, and then you shared the van for the dental. And I wanted to know, are they being used now for any of the Ukraine refugees or border help? I'm curious if those are being currently used for other purposes than the ones you just shared. And great work.
So thanks, and I think a brilliant point. So we have offered our services to the embassy. We have not heard from them. Initially, we just supported them in terms of transportation of getting those kids out. So that was the only ask. But definitely this opportunity was used when there was a crisis at Afghanistan a while back, because a lot of that community was here in part of vicinity of our area and closer to the central area. So we extended our help. And always such of our services are there in terms of the support to be given at the exterior remote corners. We definitely align with the satellite club or with the nearby club in that vicinity, so that we can extend our services, whether that could be in the form of food or some shelter or getting some basic amenities. But as of now, to a particular question on Ukrainian aspect, this dental van has not been used because we have not got any such requirement on that particular domain perspective. There was the requirements on the other assistance, which we worked with some fellow clubs and have got it passed on.
So I just want to clarify. So the buses are right now pending a response from the embassy. Is that correct?
No. So currently the buses is moving on, but for the Ukrainian thing, they have not asked for anything, because see, borders are far off, and it's all depend on the situation when they need. So initially, when they were looking for some services or assistance in terms of moving of people, we really and immediately work with the satellite club and get those services, because time is the essence. By the time we move our bus or we move our small van from one location, which is a 700 kilometers or 1000 kilometers, it takes a while. So we get the nearest club and assist them and co-partner and deliver the things there.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So right now, but this bus is being used and has been given as an offering for the nearby satellite towns where people are not being able to go to the hospitals, like we do eye checkup camps for the people who are working in the farms and the agricultural lands. So we do time to time camps and time to time other activities. So what I just tried showcasing here was some of our premium projects. Like we do a lot of the projects on the governor sir on the lines of wins with a lot of schools, and we really educate and we really do an entrepreneur program for those schools. So we give them the basic like the sanitary pad making machines to the schools and the workers, so that they can work under all those umbrellas.
Fantastic. Moving then into new business, I am going to pick up the stick again and try to move forward with one of our friend clubs next door, 2 towns away. Laurel, she's in charge of the baseball event coming up, and she liked what I was offering, and then she wasn't feeling well for a little while, and she told me that at the pets convention. And so she said she wanted to stick together with me, but I have to kind of sort of, that's a project to host an event and to invite all other Rotary clubs around you, from our incoming district governor, Cam Shandon. And so I have to just check, because it's also Nico wanted her to ramrod the program. So in talking with her, I may be able to facilitate the thing I have set up, but right now, what I do have set up for new business is I'm going to pursue that and see what I should do, what I shouldn't do, with Nico. And that'll be a night out at the baseball park, essentially. Whether whoever's hosting it, it doesn't matter. I'm going to support Rotary, but it's a night out at the baseball park. Caramont Health Park is what it's called around here. It's a big, brand new $40 million stadium. And what I got was right behind third base is a private area, and it's a banquet is included for $25 per person. That includes your ticket and your meal, and then you watch the game from right behind third base. So I'll even tell people to bring their glove to maybe catch one, Mike.
So Marty, I'll give a plug on that one. So tonight we have our first district social that we have a night at the baseball park. We have 85 Rotarians coming in for probably about 11 or 12 different clubs. And it's the first time here locally that we've been able to get together. It's a night of fellowship and friendship. They're bringing their loved ones, their children. So we'll have 83 Rotarians together at night at the ballpark. And at the end of this month, we also have a horse race. They do one a year where we have a hospitality tent, and we have 100 Rotarians that are going to be joining us. Again, it's nice to meet Rotarians from other clubs and see what they're doing. Manu, thank you very much for sharing the presentation. One of the greatest honors that I have as a governor is to see all these projects and to share them with all. And every day I'm truly amazed at the work of what Rotarians are doing. I have a great relationship with Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta, so I'm educated and know a lot of projects that go on in India. But being able to share this with everybody here and who's going to be watching the recording later, it just shows on the great things that we are all doing. And if anybody is interested, they can reach out to Manu to see about how to participate, either as an individual or even as a club. But thank you.
Thanks, Governor. Thanks for that.
Absolutely. Any other new business for the club? Mike, Desiree, Patty, new business initiative?
Manu, I just again wanted to thank you myself also. As the governor said, I've seen a lot of projects in different clubs, and as you was explaining to Patty how other clubs interact with each other, no matter we're thousands of miles away, we find out where the resources are and we connect them. And really, that's what makes Rotary the strongest, is all the clubs.
Sure.
Yeah, 46,000 clubs, I might add. People often ask, So one other new business item then I think is just to keep mentioning, and I'll close today, some of the other objects of Rotary, because people have asked and they have said, Marty, we're completely unfamiliar with any of this stuff, the four-way test, the objects, the avenues of service, the four pillars, it's confizzling to us. But one other thing I would mention on the back of your card that you'll be receiving, the object of Rotary, I'll just mention the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. That was one that I had mentioned before, and I won't bring them all up today, but number 2, I'll just read for this meeting. High ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations, and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society. And I was in the Ukraine meeting today, hosted by the family offices every Tuesday through Friday at 7:30 in the morning. And a gentleman I'd never met before said, I was a founding member of the following Rotary Club. And he said, I noticed in your thing that you're a Rotarian, Marty. Now, previously in that particular family office meeting, everybody was online, and Istiak said, it's amazing that nobody on that particular meeting, so the 2%ers of the world, had any idea what Rotary was or what it does or who it is or what it's about and what it means, and I was like, yeah, Istiak, we have our work cut out for us. So today we were lucky. We had a very affluent gentleman. I won't mention his name, but he is a Rotarian and he was on the meeting. So that was really cool. And yeah, I will say goodbye then to everybody. And thank you again for another terrific presentation and another great meeting. We try to keep these things below 1 hour to where they're short and sweet. And we're not really into hour-and-a-half long meetings. So thank you guys so much, and take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of the week. And hopefully we'll see you in Houston.
We are excited to invite you to 2022 Rotary International Convention, Houston, Texas.
There are no limits to what can be discovered.
Our horizons are changing, but we remain resilient.
Because it's in our nature to break down barriers.
To explore the vast world of ideas, culture, and experiences.
The very things that give us new meaning to life.
So what better time than now to take action?
And push the boundaries of what's possible.
To join forces and do something that revitalizes the spirit.
Form connections that broaden our worldview. Share our passion for service with other leaders.
And become inspired to do great things along the way.
Let's take on new horizons and see what's possible.
Because our potential has no limits.
Discover new horizons at the 2022
Rotary International Convention in Houston, Texas.
Come, let's discover new horizons at the 2022 Rotary International Convention, Houston, Texas.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills and resources to solve issues and address community needs. Take action with us. Find out more at rotary.org/action.